Welcome in and welcome back. It has been about 2 weeks since I dropped my walkaway video, and I wanted to just speak a little bit about the experience that has followed therefrom. For anyone who doesn't know, who's new to this channel but doesn't know me from my other channel, on my other channel I review books, I review poetry, I review short stories, things like that. I've been doing that for almost 5 years now. I have never had an experience such as this. I have never had a video that it hasn't gone viral. Like, I know there's a definition for viral, but for someone of my ilk, for someone of my technical capabilities, for someone of my platform as a creator, 11,000 views in 15 days. That's about as viral as it gets for someone like me. For someone who has spent 5 years talking about books and short stories on the internet, 11,000 views in 15 days is insane. But it's not about the views. The views are not what has really struck me. Not only is that more views than I am accustomed to, there's 1,100, almost 1,100 likes on the video. 1 in 10 people that saw that video hit the like button. But more than that, there's almost 300 comments on that video. Almost 300 comments on that video. 1 in 37-ish people who watched that had some story of their own to contribute. And yeah, there was a few lick dickers. I'm not going to pretend that there wasn't. But mainly, this was people being supportive. And mainly, so all the lick dickers were from a leftist ideology, which is insane to see. I do not think that I am someone who, even when I considered myself a Democrat, would have watched someone's video of saying, look, I'm walking away from this political party, and thought it a good idea to say, yeah, I'm going to leave a prickish comment here. I'm going to say something real dickheaded because it seems the natural thing to do, which really, really speaks of the state of politics on that side of things, which is incredibly ironic when you think about it, because what's the main criticism of level-headed people against Trump but for the fact that he runs his mouth in the way that he does? So is this another instance of leftists identifying something about themselves and someone else and deciding to absolutely hate it? We've seen this time and time again lately, where they are projecting their own faults onto other people. Is it simply too much that they see their own ability to pop off at the jaw in Donald Trump and hate it very badly? The next thing I want to say, I didn't know that this was what it is. I had no idea I was making a video that was going to get 11,000 views. And I know that's not big stuff on YouTube. I'm a guy from Kansas City, Missouri, who talks about books online, right? I had no idea that there were so many people. I think I saw it as a hashtag on Twitter. I think I had heard, so the Brandon Straka guy, who's doing the whole walkaway movement thing, I didn't know it was what it was. I saw him, so Tim Pool does a podcast every night of the week, I think, with someone. I saw a clip segment from that, and I don't even remember exactly what they were talking about. So I had no idea that this was what it was. I probably would have approached it a little bit differently. I'm probably lucky that I did not, because I think I probably would have taken it too serious as opposed to just turning the camera on and saying a couple things. But this should, I'm not saying that this means that the Democrats are going to lose in the upcoming presidential election. I don't know that. I think that there's a lot of funny business going on, and I think that there are a lot of people very set in their ways on the leftist side of things, and I don't think that should be underestimated. But the fact that so many people have been incensed to the point where they feel they can no longer identify. And I can't tell you how many of these comments are the comments on that video were about, I will punitively never again vote for the Democrats, or I'm never going to walk away. I'm never going to vote for a Democrat again. This idea that where that party is currently is so bad that that party has sown salt into the fields of their own base is mystifying. And it's also sort of mystifying to me that it took me so long. Look, it's taken me this long to identify the fact that I don't think that's going to be for me ever again. It was surprising to see so many people feel that way, but I don't think that side of things is ever going to be for me again. But it's taken me this long to get here from a state of the quote-unquote black pill. For so long, I just said, okay, we need some distance here. I'm not engaging in anything political, near political, pre-political, post-political, nothing. None of that is for me. But I kept seeing it again and again in that comments section. And I kept seeing other people's stories in that comment section, stories that were at times heartrending. More than one individual came to me in those comment sections talking about the foreign policy of the Obama administration. People who had lost everything. People whose families were gone. People whose lives were turned upside down. People who, and these individuals might be watching, and I don't want to put words in their mouths, but showing some signs of survivor's guilt, which that idea, survivor's guilt, must be one of the goddamnedest feelings on the planet. And one of the things that I think many people on the left, I myself certainly felt this way, was a certain level of pride in foreign relations, right? For no reason. For absolutely no reason. And the reason it's for no reason is that the Democrats just don't talk about the bullshit they're pulling around the planet. That's something that is a new concept to me. I had no idea. I knew that Obama was called Obama, right? I had heard about the drone strikes. I had no idea until looking into some of the things that I was told in wake of that last video. The sheer volume of this. And so from my perspective then, it was, well, we got Bush, who started the stuff in the Middle East, and then we had Clinton, who didn't really send people places, maybe a couple bombs, right? I mean, that's what was in the news. And then we had the next Bush, who sent a lot more people to the Middle East, right? And then we had Obama, and well, what happened under Obama? He said he was going to pull everybody out, right? Did that happen? I mean, surely that happened, right? Surely he kept his word, right? And that's one thing I have to say for Trump. Again, not a MAGA guy. Everything this guy has said he's going to do, he's at least made action on. I'm not going to say he's done it. I'm not going to say he's done it perfectly. I'm not going to say he's finished it all. He's at least made action on it. He even, so the big thing for me recently, like I talked about in the last video, I used to be a single issue political person, and it was about healthcare. He's done more for healthcare with this eliminating the middleman or whatever it is, I have no idea, to help individuals in my family than any other politician in the history of my life has. And I know that is anecdotal. Hey, people in my family, here's the story. I've never had a people in my family benefiting from this story. That's how Midwest I am, right? That's how flyover Kansas City is. Anyway, one of the things that kept coming up is this idea of I didn't leave the left left me. Which it certainly feels that way. But there are also times where it does feel like I'm the person who walked away. That's where obviously that's where the hashtag comes from, hashtag walkaway, because you're leaving. But why does it feel that way when really what's happening is that everything's just the Overton window's skewing so far away that I don't even see myself in it. I think the reason it feels that way, and I've felt it necessary to come up with a reason for this because it was questioned so many times. I think that the reason it feels that way is that in the event that I am struggling to form my own opinion, which, hey, I think we can all admit that happens. There's no way to be abreast of every issue and every entanglement and every nuance of everything that comes up. You just can't do it. Look at me talking like Cuomo. I think the reason it feels like I'm leaving is that in the wake of so many things that I have no opinion, on which I have no opinion, I have nowhere to go either. I have no go-to. I can't go to CNN and see what the prevailing theory is. That doesn't work. I can't go to ABC. I can't pull up Twitter and go to one of these verified blue check marks. How many people are coming to that realization? They have no go-to when they are struggling to form their own opinion. So guess what happens? When you struggle to form your own opinion, which we're all there sometimes, or we should all be there sometimes, because we don't always have all the information. When we struggle to form our own opinion, and we start from zero, we have nothing to go off of but what's right here. And we know how often these blue check marks have lied. We know how often CNN has screwed the proverbial pooch. And we're disgusted by it. Disgusted by it to the point where, much like many people feel that they will, in a punitive manner, never again vote for a Democrat. We will, punitively, never again look to these sources for their opinions. I was wrong so many times. I hate being wrong. I hate being wrong. I hate looking like an ass on someone else's accord. I'll look like an ass on my own accord all day, mama. But on someone else's accord, pisses me off. Ticks me the hell off. So in the lack of any go-to, any fallback, we have to use our own eyes and ears, which is how it should be, but it doesn't mean it's always easy. And in a world where, hey, I'm working a job, sometimes 2 jobs, I'm running 2 YouTube channels, I'm trying to lose this beer belly, I've got a little bit of family, not too much. There's not enough hours in the day to understand everything, especially everything that's going on right now. But it is that lack of knowledge that makes a biased media so effective, made it so effective for so long. And that's one of the reasons why so many people have hitched their wagon to Trump is that he came along and refused to play by anybody's rules, especially the media, because he has a long history with the media. He knows how the media operates. So he refused to even play their game. I remember thinking how funny it was in the 2016 presidential debates. I remember being at the gym, and they were on the I don't have a TV. I haven't had a TV for 10 years. They were on the TV at the gym, and it was funny. I remember everybody hated Trump. The Republicans all hated Trump. I remember thinking how funny it was that Trump was going to come along and just utterly nuke the Republican Party. Nuke them. And I thought, maybe this will be the beginning of a third party, of a legitimate third party movement, because Trump's come along and forced all these schisms between so many politicians and Trump that he ended up forming schisms between politician and politician. And now, all the things that they disagree upon are so much more obvious. And because of that, it's irreparable. I thought it's going to be irreparable. This is when a third libertarian type party will really grow. Instead, he nuked the Democrats. He nuked the Democrats. He made it impossible to take yourself seriously and intelligently and be a Democrat. Which is the goddamnedest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like this. And those are part of the reasons that so many people are rallying around him. Not Republicans, not anything else, not any other party. They're rallying around that one person. And it's because he's not a politician. So, when someone comes up to him, now that he's president, and says, hey, Donnie, look, I know you got your ideas, I know you do this, you do that, I know. But this thing over here, this isn't really how Republicans do it, okay? And he just laughs at them. I never in my life thought I'd see a Republican who was anti-war. I thought the two were hand in hand. For my whole life, they had been. My whole life, they had been. And he's anti-war. He's so anti-war, he's trying to pull troops back from countries that we're not even at war, with which we are not even at war. Go to Germany. Give me my people back. You don't need them all. What are you worried about? You worried about Russia? Figure it out for yourselves. On top of that, I always thought that the drone strikes and Clinton's now seemingly indiscriminate bombing, I always thought that that was for something closer to pinpoint accuracy than having boots on the ground that's going to cause damage to Americans, damage to wherever Americans are. It's going to cause all of this damage. But this son of a bitch, Trump, how many people died taking out al-Baghdadi? What about Soleimani? We could have been doing that stuff the whole time. Instead of just, hey, let's just drop some bombs. Let's just invade a country. I have no idea how pinpoint and accurate the al-Baghdadi and Soleimani things were, but the fact that the media did not utterly bash the execution of those stings tells me they were pretty pinpoint. But though so many people are rallying around Trump, this is not just about Trump. This is also about the riots and the violence. This is also about that, obviously. There were so many comments about that. But I think what this is most to do with is lies. And the fact that so many people are finding themselves completely debased. They've got nowhere to turn. They have nowhere to turn because they know that everyone's lying. And I'm not going to say that this is going to ruin the Democratic Party. I don't see how they come back. I really don't. That's all I have for this video. Helps me out with YouTube if you hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to stick around for other opinions from me. Go over to Strip Cover Lit if you enjoy reading books, short stories, poetry, things like that. But more than anything, you know, it's time we all start figuring these things out for ourselves.